like Ventura TV Appliance on Facebook, it's nice. But when you love the Whirlpool appliances we deliver, it's even better. Our website is cool, and it's a good place to start, but you really should touch the merchandise before you buy. Touch the new Whirlpool Ice Collection. It offers a modern style made to create an inspiring kitchen experience. Save big on this Whirlpool Black Ice or White Ice kitchen. Come in to Ventura TV Appliance and touch the merchandise today.
Hi, I'm John Mallos. Welcome to this live edition of Connect with Me on the showroom floor at Ventura TV on this day. Today we're talking about a play that's going to come to the Tower Theater here in the Central Valley, not this weekend, but next, and it will certainly, by taking a look at this poster here, it will make you laugh. 436 MeTV option 11. It's called Heavenly Laughter. Back with our program in a moment. The spotlight today is on entertainment, and we're giving 3 pairs of tickets away here on Connect with Me on MeTV Fresno, Comcast Channel 187 and 43.6 on this day. 3 pairs of tickets. That would be 6 tickets to Heavenly Laughter that takes place not this weekend, but the following weekend on April the 4th at the Tower Theater. It is a tribute to Jack Benny and George Burns. What is this play all about? Well, basically it's about an angel who has, well, he's a third-class guardian angel right now, and he's trying to get his first-class wings. How does he do that? Well, he is trying to make a gallant effort to get Jack Benny and George Burns back to Earth so they can make amends for all the mistakes they made while they were here. Here's a clip of what you'll see in Heavenly Laughter.
It's nice to be here. At my age, it's nice to be any place. You know, I just came down from heaven. My going to heaven, the nicest thing about going to heaven was being reunited with Gracie. By your applause, how many of you remember Gracie? You see, sweetheart, they still remember you. When I got to heaven, Gracie told me you get to heaven at the same age you leave the earth. She's not too happy being married to a 100-year-old man.
My goodness, a spitting image of George Burns. Live in our studio now is Chuck Carson. I can't believe, I want to see that clip one more time. The writer and the producer, director, actor, chief cook, and bottle washer over there at the Tower Theater on April the 4th. That's in 2 weekends. It's called Heavenly Laughter. You'll laugh your you-know-what off when Jack Benny and George Burns take the stage. Not the real ones, but I'll tell you what, they come pretty darn close. 436 MeTV option 11. We're giving 3 pairs of tickets away. And if you watch MeTV, all of these old programs from the 50s, 60s, and 70s, you certainly know who Jack Benny and George Burns are. We're back with our exciting program here on Connect with Me in just a moment.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Warning, warning. Danger, danger. A strange world is on MeTV.
A world somehow like ours, but of incredible darkness and fear.
What is the show called?
It has been called many different names by many different cultures.
Oh, I know. It's called Lost in Space. Saturday at 8, 7 Central on MeTV.
Anytime you say free tickets on this show, the phones light up. Chuck Carson, good to see you, my friend.
Thank you. You forgot to mention I also drive the bus.
Oh, okay. Well, I said chief cook and bottle washer. We have a call coming in already. Good morning, Young Connect. Whoops. Hey, you've got to be a little more patient than that, my friends. 436 MeTV option 11, giving away 3 pairs of tickets to Heavenly Laughter. There it is, right there, April the 4th, Tower Theater. It's a tribute to Jack Benny and George Burns. There was only one of each.
That's right.
And thank God, right? Thank God. Good morning. You're on Connect with Me. Your question, please. Hello?
Yeah, I was wondering how they were able to find characters that look so much like the Jack Benny and George Burns.
Well, it was quite simple. Basically, I was working with the Jack Benny character, and he said, you know, I have a friend in Florida who does George Burns. And I said, well, send me a videotape. Once I saw the tape and saw that he was George Burns, it was a simple matter. So Lynn Roberts plays Jack, and Lynn is out of Phoenix, Arizona. And we have Peter Zauser coming in as George Burns, and he's from Florida.
You know, the monologue, we ran the piece on George Burns.
Right.
You know, I want to run it again.
Go ahead.
I know we've already seen it.
Right.
But I want to see it one more time to see that, is this guy an imposter? Is he the real George Burns? I want to take a look at it. Okay, Chuck? Roll it.
Go ahead.
Roll
It's
it.
nice to be here. At my age, it's nice to be any place. You know, I just came down from heaven. My going to heaven, the nicest thing about going to heaven was being reunited with Gracie. By your applause, how many of you remember Gracie? You see, sweetheart, they still remember you. When I got to heaven, Gracie told me you get to heaven at the same age you leave the earth. She's not too happy being married to a 100-year-old man.
That is hilarious.
Well, you see, Peter is still is a character actor. He does a lot of roles in feature films from out of Florida. But his main forte was to do George Burns.
Wow. Well, he does him well, I'll tell you that. Another call coming in. Good morning, you're on Connect with Me.
Hi, I would love tickets to that show.
Okay, there's your man right there, Chuck Carson. Chuck?
We'll get your name, and then we can go ahead and I'll contact you, leave a phone number, and I'll tell you how to get your tickets.
Don't leave your phone number on the air. What is your name, ma'am?
Sue?
What's that?
Roberts.
Say again.
Sue Roberts.
Sue Roberts, okay. You need to call Ventura TV, and I guess that's how we're going to work it. Just talk to Michelle, and we'll leave the tickets up there.
Okay, that's cool.
Sue Roberts. Okay, thank you, Sue, for calling in. I appreciate your time.
The number's up on the screen.
And the number's up on the screen, 265-4326. That is the number to Ventura TV. That is not our number to call the program. So, anyway, Chuck, you know, so how is it that you found both character actors for George Burns and Jack Benny? You already talked about kind of how you found George.
Right.
How'd you find Jack?
2007, I was producing a show, a USO show, for public television.
Mm-hmm.
And they asked me to see if we could find a Bob Hope.
Really?
So I had some connections, and I called around. They said there's a great Bob Hope in Phoenix, Arizona, named Lynn Roberts. Well, the package turned out to be great, because Lynn Roberts not only does Bob Hope, he does Jack Benny, Red Skelton, Jimmy Durante. So he
Probably
does
Jimmy Stewart.
Well, he does them all, but he was so good at Benny that I said it's a natural when we put the show together.
I'm going to take another call. Good morning, you're on Connect with Me. Your question.
Hi there. Thank you so much for coming on the show today so that I know that this is there. I will go even if I have to pay, but is it possible I could gain tickets? And I have a question besides that.
Yeah, give me your name first before you ask the question, quickly.
It's Paul from Fowler.
Paul what?
From Fowler.
Paul from Fowler. Okay,
right.
Good.
And the question is, this is some sort of a play. Who wrote it? How did that come about?
Yeah.
All right. The whole idea. Yeah, it is. I took the two talents. Each one does.
You found each one.
Right.
One in Florida.
One in Florida that does George Burns.
Right. And the
a
other?
Phoenix actor who does Jack Benny.
Exactly. And you brought the two together.
I wanted to put the two together, but I wanted to find a vehicle rather than just have them do stand-up impressions. So the concept that I came up with is that they are going to come back from heaven to make up for all the pranks that they pulled, not only on each other, but on their friends. So Clarence the Angel, his whole job is just to chaperone these two, bring them back to Earth, keep them doing what they have to do before they
Is
all
this
go
almost
back.
like a takeoff on It's a Wonderful Life?
Pretty close, except for the fact that my Clarence, we don't get any bells ringing when I get my wings.
Okay. No, you just gave it away. You got your wings. Thanks,
I don't
Chuck.
get my wings yet. You don't know if I get my wings. Oh, there's.
You just gave it away.
No, you don't know.
All right. Well,
There's a couple of musical surprises in the show as well, and For those people who enjoy the old style of Jimmy Dorsey, Benny Goodman, Clyde McCoy, you're going to be surprised at what we bring into this wonderful show.
All right, we're going to have a ton of calls today on this. I know that. We've already gotten like 4, okay? Good morning. You're on. Well, you were on. You got to be patient, my friends. My friends, look. Just hang in there. 436 MeTV option 11. Here's what I want to do, Chuck.
Okay.
Because we haven't really played the guy that plays Jack Benny. We'll play him later in the show.
All right.
But for now, I want to play the original Jack Benny, the original George Burns, the real ones from the 1960. It's the Jack Benny Show. They actually appeared together on the Jack Benny Show. It's a different kind of comedy than what our generation is used to today, but it takes me back in a time capsule. It's amazing. Let's take a look at that clip.
Okie doke.
I suppose there's no reason why I shouldn't tell you. Now, on my last birthday, which was February the 14th.
Hold it, Jack.
Don't answer that question, Jack. It's embarrassing.
Well, what's embarrassing about a person's age?
We're not talking about a person's age. We're talking about your age. It's embarrassing.
Look, George.
Besides, who cares how old you are? It's how you feel, how you look.
Well, I look wonderful. I mean, people tell me all the time, they can't get over how good I look on the stage.
On the stage, yes. But I've seen you in the steam room.
In the steam room?
There you look like a turtle.
By the way, folks, this is my closest friend, George Burns.
Now, Jack, let me answer all these questions, and don't worry, I won't tell anything I shouldn't. I won't tell them about the time you played Charlie's aunt.
Well, why not? That was a good movie, wasn't it?
I know, but 2 years after you made it, you were still wearing the dress.
Only once, when I tried to get into the ball game on ladies' night. Sailor bought me a beer. One drink and they think they own you.
Frigidaire. We introduced the first home freezer, the first pulsator agitator washer, and now we introduce the Frigidaire Orbit Clean dishwasher, designed with a unique wash arm that gives you 4 times more water coverage for a consistently better clean. Frigidaire, over 90 years of legendary innovation.
See the full line of Frigidaire appliances at Ventura TV Electronics and Appliances.
We got a call coming in here out of the break. It's the Spotlight on Entertainment. It is Heavenly Laughter. Good morning. You're on Connect with Me. Your question, please.
Boy, those guys really look like the real McCoy guys, man.
Well, that last clip was.
I was tripping out on how they look like. They look like the real Hollywood actors, like the comedians.
Yeah, they do.
I used to love to see those guys. Those are classic guys right there.
Yeah, they don't make them like that anymore, do they?
No, they don't.
Oh, they're real good guys. Oh, man.
And they do have a segment on stage where they are together a
Yeah.
couple of times.
Yeah. Did that last clip take you back in time there, sir?
Oh, it does. I mean, that's my times too, you know. Don't make them no more like that. I mean, they're like the Little Rascals, like.
Yeah,
old
Back to the
shows like
Future.
These are the old rascals.
Yeah, these are, oh, man.
Well, thank
But
you
I
for the
can't
call.
believe it. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you for the call. I really appreciate it. We've got a clip of Jack Benny as well from the play, right?
Right.
And, you know, Jack in this one, I think, you know, I haven't seen the Jack that plays Jack. But let's take a look.
Okay.
All right.
Most of you, when you bought your tickets, wanted to know if I was going to play my violin. And then he said most of them bought their tickets anyway. So right now, I'd like to play my theme song, Love in Blue.
That was Jack Benny, of course, playing the Jack Benny. What's his name?
That's Lynn Roberts.
Okay.
And he's out of Phoenix, Arizona. And as you can see, he's got Benny down.
Yeah, he really does. And so let's talk about the kind of comedy that used to take place back then. It's a kind of comedy that this generation, as I mentioned, is not used to.
Right. But what we have done is we have taken some of the one-liners that they are using in this show, a little more contemporary, but nothing offensive, and everything is strictly done in the mannerisms of George and Jack.
All right, it's called Heavenly Laughter, Friday, April the 4th at the Tower Theater. Got a poster right here, giving some tickets away today. Good morning, you're on Connect with Me. Your question?
Yeah, I'd like to get some tickets myself.
Oh, you would? Okay. Give me your name, sir.
My name is Philip Curtis.
Can't hear you.
My name is Philip Curtis. I don't have my top dentures in.
Okay, I didn't get the first name.
Phil Curtis.
Phil Curtis, okay. Right. All right,
Yeah,
good.
Curtis.
Good, you can have some tickets. You'll have to come down to Ventura TV and get them. Is that okay?
Well, he'll have to go to the tower. That'll make it easier.
Oh, okay.
We'll put them in roll call for him, and that's how we'll work this.
All right, you get that? Phil?
Yes, sir.
Phil, you go down to the
Yes.
Tower Theater at the roll call window there and pick up your tickets.
Sounds good.
Be under your name. So do you have a question for Chuck?
No, I just like, everything he's doing.
Well, thank you.
You know, I'm 59 years old, so I know what's up.
You got it.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
right.
thank you very much.
All right.
Bye-bye.
These are baby boomer comedians, you know. This is
Of
what
course,
they were
I
in.
grew up watching Jack Benny. I was a kid, of course.
And
but
a lot earlier, the World War II folks were watching him on, or listening to him on radio, and then they went on to television. Of course, each has made films.
each of these guys, Burns and, of course, Jack Benny, they both started in radio, as you mentioned,
Right.
and then moved on into TV in
Right.
the early 50s.
Right.
And then made their mark, and I remember them as a kid. But do you think this kind of laughter works today, this kind of comedy?
Well, from the shows we have done, the audiences are roaring. They love it.
Where do you go? What cities?
Well, we started by doing in Yuma, Arizona, and then we opened this year in Rancho Cucamonga at the Lewis Family Playhouse,
When?
and that was in January.
Okay.
And they loved him. And
How many people? Did you have a-
600.
So you had kind of a packed house, huh?
Full house.
Full house, 600.
Yeah.
Is the tower sold out yet?
No, not yet, but we're hoping for it, because this is the kind of programming that seniors keep saying, we want something for us. And the more mature audiences. Well, this is for you. This is what it's for. It's for the baby boomers, the seniors. But I'll tell you one
What
thing.
about the younger generation? Does this work?
Yeah, and the reason being that MeTV, like many other of the cable channels that are playing the old shows,
Yeah.
you're developing a brand new audience for us. And we get people in the audience at 17, 18 years old said, yeah, I saw them on TV, and gee, that's so great to be able to see them live. I mean, it's wonderful. That's one of the perks that we get by having channels like MeTV rebroadcasting these great old shows.
So you are the writer, the producer, and you have a little bit of a background in that.
Yes.
I read your bio. Explain your background in theater.
Well, I came out of the University of Connecticut, and after a stint in the Marine Corps, and decided I wanted to be in theater arts. I went to New York and worked the circuit off Broadway, way off Broadway, and discovered that it was nice to eat every once in a while. So I changed and left the theater and went into radio and television. And then many, many years later, I'm back in theater working again in radio and
Now,
television.
you have produced some shows that have actually aired on PBS. For example, the Master Story Tellers of Mariposa, that was distributed by PBS. I remember that.
yeah.
It was like a 60 minutes.
Right, and we did it. They had a
piece.
wonderful, they still do, they have a wonderful storyteller festival up in Mariposa every year.
Right.
And we got a grant and went up there and shot that for PBS.
Right, and so this kind of continues along that line in a way. How long is the show?
This show will run about 2 hours, including the intermission. There's 2 acts.
Really? So there are 2 acts to this whole thing. So it's about 2 hours. So
Right.
you're going to get. And so tickets are how much, Chuck?
General admission, I think, is $29, and reserve seating is $39.
Okay, and you can see pretty good anywhere, just about anywhere in the Tower Theater.
That theater is fantastic.
Yeah, it's called Heavenly Laughter, Friday, April the 4th. That's not this weekend, but the following weekend. We do have a poster right here. You can see George Burns, of course, right there. There's Jack Benny. Hey, and there's our guy Chuck Carson playing the angel, Clarence, who brings them both back down to earth so they can make amends, my friends, for the things that they have done here on earth. They're just bad. They're bad. 436 MeTV option 11. We've given some tickets away here to the Tower Theater on April the 4th, and we're going to be back with our program and Chuck Carson in just a moment.
1 Adam 12, 1 Adam 12.
This is Adam 12. It stars Martin Milner as Officer Pete Malloy, Kent McCord as Officer Jim Reed.
1 Adam 12, roger.
This black and white patrol car has an overhead valve V8 engine. It develops 325 horsepower at 4,800 RPMs. It accelerates from 0 to 60 in 7 seconds. It has a top speed of 120 miles an hour. The automobile has 2 shotgun racks, one attached to the bottom portion of the front seat, one in the vehicle trunk.
You want me to drive?
Now on MeTV Fresno, Xfinity 187.
George Burns, Jack Benny. It's a flashback in time. It's going back in a time capsule to the 50s and 60s. Good morning. You're on Connect With Me. Your question.
George Burns, Jack Benny.
Okay. Okay. No. I'm sorry, but you have to turn down the TV set, the sound on your TV set before you call in. That's all we heard. So you have to do that or we cannot take your call. If you're on the phone waiting, turn down the sound. We'll put you on the air. 436 MeTV option 11 here on Connect With Me. We have another clip of George Burns. You know, I can't believe I mean, the makeup is just phenomenal, obviously. But it looks like this gentleman kind of looks like George Burns anyway, even without the makeup.
He's got the stature. He's the right size, the right build. His facial features are great, and
he's got the voice down.
He's got the voice down.
You know, my wife Gracie.
He's one of the big shows he did was with Peter Nero and the Philly Pops Orchestra in Philadelphia. He's done a lot. In fact, as a voiceover artist, his voice is used. I think at the Smithsonian as President Truman in one of the deals.
All right, here is the George Burns lookalike that you'll see on April the 4th.
I noticed when I was in Florida that the people down there are all into exercising, so I joined an aerobics class. For 45 minutes I would jump up and down, I would twist, I would turn, I would bend. By the time I got my leotards on, the class was over. He was the cheapest person I ever met. He was so cheap, he had a $5 bill in his wallet for so long that when he finally took it out, Lincoln's eyes were bloodshot.
George Burns, his name again is?
Peter Salzer.
Yes, okay, Peter. Good morning. You're on Connect With Me, your question.
Yes, sir. Good morning. I have a couple questions. One, how can I get tickets? I'd really love to see the show. And two, are they, these guys, they look like the genuine comedians. I'm just curious if they're used in any, if they've done any big screen or small screen appearances.
Not as these characters. Both have appeared in movies as character actors, but in their own persona.
Yeah.
And the way to get tickets simply is call the Tower Theater at 485-9050. That's 485-9050, the Tower Theater.
You got that?
Yes, sir. Is there any way I could qualify for the free tickets? I'm unemployed right now, and I'd really love to take the wife out.
I'm sorry. I think they're gone, aren't they? We saw all three.
He is unemployed, so I don't know if you want to cut him a break. I don't know. It's up to you, Chuck. I'm not going to press you.
I would love to, but that's all they gave me to give away at the Tower.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I apologize, sir, but thank you for calling in. I hope you find work soon. It's not good to be unemployed.
No, it's
certainly.
not. No, it's
certainly not. And we apologize for that. We said we were going to give 3 sets away. We've given our 3 sets away. We apologize. We hope you find work and keep watching the show, and hope you can make it out there. Anyway, Chuck, so what's next after Fresno?
From Fresno, we're off to Kentucky and Indiana, and then to Colorado.
Okay, so how many shows a year are you going to do with this? And so is this the first or second year?
This is actually the second year. The first year we started late in 2013, so in essence we'll do about 14 shows this year.
Okay, so you're going to do 14 around the country, not just in California.
Right.
Okay.
We go as far east as this year we're going to South Carolina and Florida and then back through the
How did you
Midwest.
know this would work?
I didn't. I just, I grew up with these characters as you did. And I loved working in an essence where, to me, it's like being there with Jack and George, which I wouldn't have had the opportunity
But
to
see,
do.
the thing is, it would only work if you had two people who looked and sounded like them.
Oh, yeah, I couldn't have done this unless I knew for sure that I had the two actors who could make this work. And they are actors, People talk about impressionists, and impressionists can hold a character for about 4 to 5 minutes. These gentlemen take on the persona and carry it through for 2 hours.
So what's the difference between an impressionist and, say, an actor?
An actor puts himself into the character and relates to it. All an impressionist does is get a sound in his head, does 3 or 4 one-liners, and that's over.
Okay, kind of like what Billy Crystal used to do,
or
Rich Little.
Yeah.
Rich Little used to do that.
And they're excellent. They're great at it, but
they can't carry a show for an hour and a half.
No, they couldn't extend it.
Yeah. So you had to know that it would work only if you could get two that looked exactly alike. And how long did it take you to find them? How long from start to finish?
I was very lucky. From the start, when I met Jack Benny, it took me about 6 months to find Peter to be George Burns.
Really?
Yeah.
And how did you go about finding him?
It was through Lynn Roberts. He said, I've got a buddy of mine that does George Burns, and we have done a few small things in Florida. Maybe you ought to give him a look. And that's how it started. And then
how'd you find Jack Benny?
As I said, when I was doing the USO show for Channel 18, I brought him in to do the Bob Hope character.
So it didn't take you as long to find Jack as it did George?
No.
Which one do you think is more difficult to not only portray on the screen but on the stage, but to actually put yourself into that role? Is it Benny or is it Burns?
I think Jack Benny, because Benny is a reaction comedian. So if he's working alone, people were so used to just him doing his outtakes in his hand. But the whole difference is that he has to maintain a persona while still trying to be funny. So when we wrote, and he wrote a lot of the material that he does, he had to do it in the same manner that Jack Benny would have done it. And to be a little self-depressing, he picks on himself a lot. But it's very funny stuff, and it works.
Yeah, and I guess it works today in this day and age.
Very much so.
Yeah.
That's the whole idea. People have to, that's why we said the premise is they come back to Earth to make the world laugh again, and they really do that.
All right, Heavenly Laughter, Friday, April the 4th, 2014 at the Tower Theater. And it's Jack Benny, George Burns. It's a revival, and Chuck Carson is the writer, producer, director, actor, the chief cook and bottle washer. Tower Theater, April the 4th. What time is the show?
7:30.
7:30 at night.
That's...
Good luck, Chuck.
Thank you.
I hope we helped you out a little bit.
Oh, I'm sure you will.
All right.
Well, I want to see everybody. Come to the lobby and tell me that you saw us on John's show.
All right. Chuck Carson, thank you much. That's going to do it for us here on Connect with Me. Back with another edition of this program tomorrow on MeTV Fresno.
After practicing law, Raymond Berg fought crime.
You have the right to an attorney.
As a hard-boiled detective on wheels.
Ain't it the truth?
His name is Ironside.
Perhaps you wouldn't mind saying it again.
His name is Ironside.
All right, now you've said it.
Now on MeTV Fresno, Xfinity 187.
When you're looking for Whirlpool innovation and quality, who has the answers, the selection, the price? Ventura TV Appliance. With billions in nationwide appliance buying power, more than Home Depot and Best Buy combined, we'll help you save. Our low prices on Energy Star qualified Whirlpool appliances save you energy and money and pay no interest on select models when paid in full within 12 months. Ventura TV Appliance, serving you since 1951.